Hi, next to Change Vivian here. I'm going to talk a little bit about gaslighting. And I know that, everyone is hearing a lot about it now because there's a lot of talk about narcissistic abuse and, who and what narcissists are. And, you know, while some people are, I think mistakenly assigning this disorder to to almost everybody now. If they show a little bit of something, labeling them a narcissist, where that might not be true. But it doesn't mean that just because they may not be a full-blown narcissist, that they aren't using tactics or strategies that are commonly used by narcissists. One of those strategies is called gaslighting. And gaslighting is basically something that a person does to you to create doubt. That's the bottom line, is to create doubt and eventually steal your self-esteem, steal your self-worth, just the things about yourself, to take away your confidence. But the main tactic itself is to create doubt and to cause confusion in your thinking and in your mind. And of course, that will lead to a direct attack on your person, on your self-esteem, on your senses, on your intellect, and all of those things. Gaslighting is basically done through phrases, and there are common phrases that narcissists use and common phrases that people that gaslight use. And I'm going to go over some of those. And with gaslighting, or even with identifying a narcissist in your life, it takes a while, because you could be with a narcissist for days, weeks, months, or even years before you really realize that that person has a type of a mental illness. They have a personality disorder. And it doesn't have to be full blown, it can be on the spectrum. So it could be overt, it could be covert, it could be very pernicious. A malignant narcissist is, once you find out what it is, as evil. So I'm going to go over 10 common phrases that, of gaslighting that people use. And, once you hear these phrases and you realize that there's a pattern of them being used on you, that should be a red flag. So I'm going over these to educate, because, sometimes you may just think that it's you, or the person does not really have malintentions, when really they do. So let's get into it. So the first gaslighting phrase that you would hear a lot is, "You're crazy." Narcissists and people that like to use narcissistic tactics like to say you're crazy. So that's going straight for the jugular. They're going straight to your mind to let you know that there's something cognitively that's not processing well, that your functioning is out of whack. So you're crazy. They may even use words like "you're neurotic," and it's all, even with the body gesturing and the facial expressions, they'll do it all. So for instance, it could be in any situation. You could forget something. You could be in a conversation with them. They may want to do something that's totally disrespectful to you, or totally irrational and unreasonable. And when you question or call them out on it, they'll say, "You're crazy. You're neurotic. I don't know why you this, because, I don't know why you're saying this. This is perfectly reasonable. And, I'm a reasonable person, and you're crazy and you're neurotic." So look out for people calling you that, right? Because, who's to tell you that? They're not They're not trained clinicians to, to say you're neurotic or you have any type of anything. So really, it's just one of those steps of gaslighting that a narcissist or another person would use to get their way. The second thing is you don't communicate well. So that's a person that, again, they're trying to get their way. And they're telling you all these things. And really what they're saying is unreasonable. Because usually people that are lying or scheming about something will introduce a word salad to you. And they're telling you all these things that really just, it doesn't make sense. And it can't make sense. And they know it doesn't make sense. So what they're trying to do is confuse you. So when you catch them in their lies, or you catch them in their scheming, you catch them in their half-truths, they turn to well, I don't really understand what you're saying. Because really, you don't understand what they're saying, because what they're saying doesn't make sense. But instead of having to explain themselves, they turn the table and say, well, I don't understand what you're saying. They're hedging around the clarity of your thought of telling them that they're ridiculous. So you don't communicate well, and then sometimes they'll even bring in, to make it even more credible, as a matter of fact, your friends even know you don't communicate well. Your family knows you don't communicate well. People know you don't communicate well. And it's to get you thinking. Are they seeing something in your friends? Are they seeing something in your family? What are they seeing? Is it true? And then that again is something to snatch your confidence. But all of that is a tactic because it's a lie. You communicate perfectly well. They just don't want you to know that you do, because then you'd be able to show where their BS is. The third thing is, I never said that. Something is wrong with you. That's a gaslighting tactic that's often used. They'll say something and then they'll turn around and say they never said it. And good and well they said it. They said it. I mean, you heard it, they said it, you have no doubt in your mind, why they said it, the context of the conversation. But they'll say they never said it, and not only will they deny, they'll turn it around like something is wrong with you for saying that they said it. And then it becomes you're making up things. You're living in a fantasy. You have some kind of reality world going on, is what they'll try to make you think. But really, it's just that they said something. So they'll deny to the end. The fourth thing is, I remember you said that. So now with the case of them not remembering what they say and trying to make you feel like something's wrong with you, now they will say you said something that you never said, and you never said it. And they will stick to their guns that you said it, something's wrong with you. And now they attack your functioning. Something's wrong with your memory. You have a bad memory. You have a bad memory. You have a bad memory. So again, creating doubt and snatching away confidence. The fifth thing that a lot of times gaslighters will use is, if you loved me. So they'll say that a lot, and that's a big red flag. When people are trying to get you to do something that is against your best judgment, and you say no, if you loved me, you would. So fill in the blank. If you loved me, you would loan me the money. If you loved me, you would stay the night. If you loved me, you would co-sign for my car. If you loved me, you would climb on this big mountain that looks very, 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 very dangerous. But if you loved me, you would do it. So they're always That right there is them pushing the envelope to see exactly what they can get you to do and how much power they have over you. And of course, that thing that fills in the blank only gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The sixth phrase, because I have 10 phrases here that I'm going over, is I'm ready to accept your apology. Classic gaslighting. So that looks like you had an argument with someone, or you didn't make a mistake, but they're telling you that you made a mistake, and they're the one really arguing with you, and they're the one really initiating all this and throwing word salads, and they're the one who's getting caught in a lie. And what they do is, as a distractor, they start using words like, you need to apologize. Clearly, there's nothing you need to apologize for, but if a person tells you, they've done all this stuff, and, sometimes you can get a little heated with a person, if you're debating something, but clearly you've done nothing wrong. And you think that, okay, this has just gone too far, let's just let it go. And the next day you get a text that says, I'm ready to accept your apology. That can throw you for a loop, and especially if you haven't realized yet that the person, is not well adjusted. That'll make you think they're willing to accept my apology. Well, what is it that I need to apologize for? And you start thinking, then you start telling yourself, oh, well, maybe my tone did get like this, or did I say this, or did you say that? And they're so dogmatic about it. You just feel like they've got to be right. Who would stand and be that dogmatic about anything? And I'm telling you, they will. They will do it, and they will be dogmatic to the end. So that's one way to throw you off. I'm ready to accept your apology. Another phrase they like to use is, I forgive you. And you're like, forgive me for what? I didn't do anything. But they're like, oh, I know, but I forgive you. And they stick on that, but they're pretending to take a high road that's not even there. That high road is not even there. Their whole scheme has crumbled under their feet, and they feel like they're standing on this road of stone, and they're standing on sand, but they're saying, I forgive you. That's another thing to make you think, oh, what did I do? They forgive me. And again, if you're not on to what the person is doing, you could think about that for days. The eighth thing is, you really messed up on a few parts, but overall it was good. Classic narcissist, classic gaslighting. So remember, people that gaslight you are there to cause doubt, steal your confidence, and gain control. So they'll take something that you do very, very well. Let's say you are an orator, and you get out there and you say this beautiful speech, and everybody's applauding and praising you. Well, when that person gets you alone, they'll tell you, smiling, and maybe put their arm around you and say something like, you really messed up on a few parts there. Nobody noticed it. But you know what? I hope nobody noticed it. But, overall it was good. Or, if you are a competitor in anything, anything that anybody praises you on, they will be there. They will be there. They will see the praise. They'll be glad to be seen with you, right? Because you're a winner, and they'll be right there. And as soon as the camera stops, as soon as the eyes are off, it was good, but, you were really off. You were playing that instrument, and you hit a few wrong keys, but overall it was good, to make you go back and play in your mind over and over the scene to try to figure out what was it that you messed up on. And of course, they want you to see them as better than everybody else. So if they can see where you messed up, well, that just makes them great, because even the great judges and the great people in the world couldn't even see what you did wrong, but they saw it. And again, that's to control you. That's to snatch your confidence, to bring doubt and confusion in your mind. There's two more. The ninth one is, I know you better than anybody. And it's funny because narcissists and people who gaslight, they really don't know you at all. They don't know you, and they have no desire to know you. And a lot of times they don't have the capacity to know you and connect with you, because they don't have the capacity to know you or connect with anyone. But they will say, I know you better than anybody. Again, which is to make you rely on them. So they might say, you're angry when you're not. And you might say, well, I'm not angry. I'm not an angry person. Well, then they may answer, well, yeah, other people don't know that, but I know you better than anybody. Or they might call you selfish, and you're not selfish at all. And you'll say, well, I'm not selfish. Then they'll go into their whole, well, that's because they don't know you. I know you better than anybody. So again, to create doubt, to put them a step ahead of everybody else, they don't know you better than anybody. They don't even know themselves. And the 10th thing is, you made me. So whatever it is that they do that's harmful to you, you made them. Whatever they say about you that could be damaging to your reputation, you made them. So, classic one, let's just say if somebody were to steal from you, they would say you made them. Some kind of way it's your fault. If they were to cheat on you, some kind of way they would say you made them. If they embarrassed you out, some kind of way they would say, well, yeah, but you made me. So they don't take accountability for themselves. They say that you made them. And that makes you turn around and say, well, maybe I did. Maybe I this. Again, it depends on how far they've created doubt in you. So I just wanted to talk about these gaslighting tactics because, I'm sure that you've experienced them in your life. I've experienced some of these in my life. And then as I continue to do coaching and counseling and I talk to people, gaslighting comes up over and over and over and over in relationships, in work relationships. It just comes up because there are always people out there who want to dominate other people and control other people. And there are always out there, people that are full of jealousy and envyings. And they always want to tear down, things that appear shiny to them because they want to be the one to shine. Or they are, jealous because they're not shining or they don't have that certain thing that shines. So the best way to deal with people that gaslight is to see gaslighting for what it is and read books on gaslighting if you're intertwined, with someone that you've been with a while, and you really feel like you need to make sure that this is what's going on. But I'm saying this is what's going on. And, the more you read about it, the more you hear about it, the more you watch videos like this about it, the freer you will become and the more you will know that this person really has just been in your life, whoever they are. They're just a passing through illusion. And, they've come to take what they can take, not give anything, and destroy what they can destroy. So that's Vivian from Next to Change, and watch out for the gaslighting. Have a good day.